This is me. I'm proud to be American and strong in my belief.
Little update video today about my E.D.C in my go bag. About a year ago I made a video about the backpack I carry with me when I'm hunting. Kind of a survival kit. I've updated that now. In light of the recent events, we had that shooting in Colorado at the movie theater. I'm sure everybody's heard about that. Stuff, not just that in particular, but that's just one more reason why I've completely updated my E.D.C. and I've been carrying all of this stuff with me wherever I go. The backpack, which I'll show you here in a second, it stays in the car with me, in the car or in my work truck when I go to work every day. The stuff that's in here, yeah, it's a survival kit, but it's also a get home bag. It's also a go bag where if something was to happen, I can grab this and I'm good to go, at least till I can get home. Say there's a bad accident on the interstate closes and I'm 2 miles from home, whatever, I can get myself home. So I'm going to go through this stuff and show you kind of what I've squared away and what I've been carrying as my E.D.C. Alright, so now I'm going to give you a look at what my E.D.C has been, what I've been carrying with me every time I leave the house. Every single time. I've dedicated myself to this. I'm not going to put my family in jeopardy by leaving the house and not having these things, which in my opinion are the most important things that I have. I have 2 young girls. I have a 4-year-old and an 8-month-old. And my wife. They're my number one priority. So when I'm out, whenever we go somewhere, this is my E.D.C knife. I carry this with me almost every single day. I have a bunch of knives. If you've seen any of my other videos, I make knives. So let's not get too beat up on the knife that you carry. But in this kit here, I have 3 knives. So my knives are changing almost every day. But it's really important that you have a knife. Redundancy is very important to me. Like I said, in this kit, I have 3 knives, and you'll see them as we go. So, number 1 thing, a cutting tool. You got to have some sort of cutting tool. Number 2 is my cell phone. I don't go anywhere without my cell phone. Anybody that's got a smartphone nowadays realizes that these things are invaluable tools. Maps, navigation, GPS, topo maps, weather forecasts, news. Obviously, if there's a grid was to go down or anything like that, these aren't going to work. You can throw it in the dumpster at that point. I don't care. But in rule of law situation, every day, this thing is an invaluable tool. Next thing is a good flashlight. This is my XL50 mag light. It's a 150 lumen. Also has a low light setting, and then it has a strobe feature. It's not a great flashlight. People probably mock me because of my just carry a mag light, but who cares? I got a light. I got spare batteries in the pack. Another invaluable tool. These things are small enough, light enough. You can go smaller. You can buy the Streamlights, you can buy the Phoenixes, you can buy all these other flashlights that weigh almost nothing, and there's no excuse not to have a light with you. No excuse at all. Next thing I carry with me everywhere I go is my gun. This is my m.u.l.e 9mm. Again, let's not get too beat up on what gun it is. If you have a concealed carry permit, which I have here in the state of Florida, carry a gun. Okay? Anything is better than nothing. This gun in particular, it's big, it's heavy, it's full size. A lot of people don't like carrying full size. My philosophy on carrying full size with this type of inside the waistband holster is it's comfortable, it doesn't bother me, it's horsehide on the back side, so in the hot weather, breathes good. but this gun holds 17 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. That's 18 rounds. In here right now, carrying Hornady Critical Defenses. That's my go-to self-defense round. Any sort of plus P hollow point's a real good option also. And I always carry at least 1 spare mag with me. In a movie theater setting, like what happened in Aurora, Colorado, a gunman comes in and starts shooting. You know, if you got a 6 or 7+1 capacity 380 concealed carry handgun, it's better than nothing. But with a gun like this, I have the capability of engaging that target, keeping rounds on target, and having enough ammunition in the gun, and if I have to reload with a spare magazine, that in my opinion, even with his body armor, I could have got clean hits on target, and it would have changed the entire outcome of that event. As soon as he would have started taking rounds, his focus would have left everybody else in that movie theater, and it would have been focused on me. Might have killed me. I might have died that day. But a lot of people would have been saved. A lot of people's lives wouldn't have been ruined by a mass murdered psychopath in a movie theater. So that's my philosophy on carrying full size. But again, if you got a concealed weapons permit, carry something. My wife carries a Ruger LCP 380, 6+1 capacity, but for her and the situations she'll be in, either backing me up or having to defend herself, it's better than nothing. So that's it when it comes to, this is my E.D.C right here. This is what I have on me all the time besides my keys. The only thing on my keys is I got a little 1/4-inch wrench and a military grade can opener, so I didn't even bother bringing them out. But now I'll jump into what I carry in my go bag. It looks like the sunshine's coming out. It's been raining all day today, but anyways, alright, let's get into this. So that's my personal E.D.C, what I keep on my body at all times. This is my go bag. You hear some shooting off in the distance there. It's just my neighbors being my neighbors. First things first, kind of using Dave Canterbury's 5 C's survivability. Want to make sure that I had cover, container, combustion device, a cutting tool, and cordage. Those are the most important things. If you have all 5 of those, you can pretty much do whatever you need to do. So, when it comes to containers, this is a canteen that I got. It's got, a mating cup under there. It's a nesting cup, that's the word. Nesting cup in there. Pretty standard stuff. But that's my container. I keep it empty. I can always get water. I can always purify water if I have to. Some of this stuff in here is going to be redundant from my old kit, so I'm going to kind of move through that stuff kind of quick. In this first pack right here, I got a pair of leather work gloves. Alright, so a pair of leather work gloves, man. There's no excuse not to have them. Keep your hands from getting tore up. Plus, I use them as little stuff sacks. I keep my light in the one, and I keep my first aid kit in the other. So, a pair of leather work gloves. You just have them. There's no reason not to. This headlamp, it's a cheap Energizer one. Got it at Walmart. It's got adjustable swivel on it, same point where you need it. It's got 3 settings. It's got a high beam. It's got red for sustaining your night vision. It's got a floodlight. Not the greatest in the world, but it works pretty good. I've had it for a while, and it's actually been real good. The elastics held up pretty good and all that kind of stuff. So, redundancies. I got my flashlight on me, but I always have my headlamp as backup. Trying to do something at night, navigate at night, whatever you're trying to do, have that headlamp. Just makes everything easy. First aid kit. I've updated this a little bit. Again, I'm not going to tear into the contents of it, but I got a set of sutures in here. I've updated. I got Benadryl and ibuprofen, acetaminophen, all that kind of stuff. So pretty standard first aid kit. Not a whole lot to it, but it's something to deal with minor cuts, scrapes, little stuff like that. Then here in this
watertight box, fishing tackle box. I got a little survival kit. In here I got some cotton balls, some cotton swabs, some matches, a piece of fat wood tinder, some dental picks, a whistle. I got a mylar blanket in here, some tin foil, chlorine dioxide, water purification tablets. In here I got a sewing needle and a couple pins and that piece of foam. So again, pretty straightforward, but it gets the job done and it fits nice. Now this stuff's all nice and waterproof. See my first aid box, it's waterproof. So as long as they don't get smashed, even from getting poured on rain, it'll stay dry. So that's it for that top pocket. Here in this front pocket, a lighter. I can start fire a bunch of different ways. Ferrocene rods, I can do friction fire if I absolutely have to. But man, just carry a Bic, get a fire started. Nothing to it. And here's my trusty Leatherman super tool. I've had this thing for ages, man. I don't use it a whole lot, but it's still in really good shape. It's lasted a long time. I've had this thing for 15 years. Carry it in a, just a regular standard leather pocket, leather sheath, belt sheath. Just keeps it from bouncing around inside the pack. Got some paracord. This is probably about 10 feet of paracord. It's not enough, but it's better than nothing. Got some bank line. It's actually out of the pack right now. Now that I'm doing this video, I realize I gotta get back in there. Cheap emergency poncho. Got some bug spray, a pen, a Sharpie marker, some toenail clippers, a pair of hemostats, a pair of scissors, spices, salt and pepper, all that kind of stuff. Got a small fishing kit in here. I went through the contents of this in my other video, which I'll link to. They're pretty straightforward little fishing kit. And again, with redundancies, I keep my sharp finger in here. It's a good utility knife, food prep knife, stuff like that. But it doesn't weigh much and it just sits down in there nice and tight. So that's that pocket. Got a paracord bracelet hanging on the front just for an extra cordage. Got paracord wrapped around my Gerber sheet. This is my LMF2. I've shown this in a couple videos. But got magnesium fire starting block on the front. In the main pocket, got a mosquito head net. I live in Florida, man. Mosquitoes. Got my compass. It's kind of a cheapo. I bought it out cheaper than dirt. It ain't nothing real fancy, but it gets the job done. Here in Florida, we got highways that run north, south, east, and west. You're never more than about 15 miles from the highway. I don't care where you go in this area, Panhandle, Florida. So you find one good solid direction, north, south, east, west, whatever you got to do, and you walk that direction, you will run into a road, highway, railroad tracks, power lines, something. There's something around here. I don't live out in the middle of nowhere, so for other people, you may need to do something different, but this works fine for me. I got some pacing beads on there just to keep track about how far away I am. My job, I always driving. I know approximately how far I am no matter where I go, so that's a good, pacing beads are a good way for me to judge how far away from home or wherever it is I'm going. And then down in the bottom of the pack, in this Condor EMT pouch, spare mag pouch, dual mag pouch. This stays in here. I always carry my other mag in my pocket. I got a couple little smaller one-place mag pouches, but this is my backup double in case I need it. I got the Kel-Tec PF9 in here again. It's carrying Hornady critical defenses. It may be outside the National Rifle Association's suggested rules what you should do with firearms, but my guns stay loaded. Why would you carry an empty gun? It makes no sense. If I can't get, for some reason, I get separated from my M&P, but I still got my pack, I got a backup. For some reason my M&P malfunctions, goes down, got a backup. There's another person with me, we need to pull security, or there's something going on where somebody else needs a firearm to back me up. I got an extra gun ready to go. And then 100 rounds of spare ammo. This is Full Metal Jacket, cheap ammo, but it's something. Something's better than nothing. I carry hollow points a lot. All my guns, I try to keep hollow points in them, but I shoot a lot. I burn through ammo. I shoot a lot, so I keep the ammo on me that I got. So there you go, everybody. That's my go bag, my E.D.C. Just a quick update. I appreciate it. You know, we really are living in some crazy times right now. America, this country's right on the verge. And any day, everything could go wrong. Small thing. Get a hurricane tomorrow. Look what Hurricane Katrina did to New Orleans. You have to be prepared. There's no reason not to be prepared. You can't tell me a good reason on why not to have this kind of stuff with you wherever you go, every single day. No excuse. There's no reason. You know, maybe because I'm so prepared, and I'm not all that prepared, but maybe because I'm prepared, nothing will happen. That's fine with me. I don't want nothing to happen. I got 2 young kids, a wife, paying a mortgage. You know, I just want to work my job, spend time with my family, live my life. But the times we're living in, you never know what's going to happen.
I'm proud to be American and strong in my belief. And I've said it before, but I'll say it again, 'cause I've never needed government to hold my